Hello and welcome to Noname Podcast. And I'm back after a fucking while and I'm a new setup. As you can see, green screen shit. Uh and yeah, I have a special guest today. I have a fuck puppet.
More like puck puppet.
Yeah. So
Good job.
good job. I can't say the name. Sounds
Practice. Practice.
yeah,
Practice.
yeah,
Practice.
sure. So I thought since I haven't been talking by this whole theme of collecting or collectibles within a whole game, and were pretty big at that, right?
Yeah, at least I used to have a pretty large collection. A while back, I kinda, yeah, well, not kinda, I did sell it like 3 years ago.
So
So I used to be into Final Fantasy.
so how
Ever heard of
yeah. No, is that a new franchise?
that? Yeah,
Yeah, is
brand
it?
new.
Oh, is it? That's cool.
At least, at least for some, like Final Fantasy XV. Oh yeah, this is so great.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is great. So yeah, how big was the collection though? Was it like literally basically all of
It
them?
was more like more exclusive than quantity, really.
Okay.
Although I did have quite a lot. If you split it up into games alone, I have every game released, but in sealed order.
Mm.
So yeah, all Black Label, all PlayStation, all Xbox, all PSPs, and yeah, you name it.
So all of them were sealed. And then you had another other set that wasn't sealed that you played, or what?
No, I only kept a few
Oh,
that I played. So I
okay.
had, let's see, I had a few PSP games that were duplicates, and a few PlayStation 1 that were duplicate, as well as the Nintendo NES one opened.
Mm. The,
Hmm.
the only thing that I can relate to in collection term is just not by games, it's just by movies. It's the Lord of the Rings collection thing that I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's it's up to too much kind of, but not too much kind of as well. You
Yeah.
know? I think it's like
Well, I did.
seven. Yeah, it's 7 or 8 of each movie in different like releases. And the bad part is that I looked at one guy who was selling. Okay, there is like the extended edition, but they released a special edition after that with more behind the scenes than the behind the scenes that was released on the extended discs. So they were like two
Yeah,
more hours. So I opened those because they were like super limited. So I opened those when I bought them because I wanted to see it, obviously. But I saw a
yeah.
guy who was selling all of them sealed for like 450 Norwegian, which is about $50. Uh,
Ouch.
I mean, it's not. I paid like 150 for each, so I paid like
Yeah.
350 anyway for like three of them. So I was looking at that yesterday. I was like, do I want to buy these? And then I realized I have an open set in the fucking shelf. And then I realized,
Damn it.
and I was like, well, but I don't have them sealed, There's limited, and my
Yeah.
mind's kind of,
Slipped a little.
yeah. I convinced myself to be like, I'm not gonna buy any more duplicate of all these things, but he dropped the price for like from $70, no, $75,
Okay.
going more and more down. Now he's on like 50 or 45 to 50.
Oh,
So
well,
it's
that's not
like,
too bad.
when do I strike? Is he gonna drop it anymore?
I'm gonna strike the. Oh no, it's sold.
Oh damn, that was sealed as well. I'm gonna regret it, I'm gonna be like, why did I buy them? They were so like if you look them up, they're like about $35 for each on eBay and
Yeah.
whatnot sealed. And this is in Norway as well, so it's literally like
Yeah, but there's like I've noticed this as well when I was buying and selling and trading my collectibles. It was a lot more profitable just putting it on eBay rather than selling it domestically.
yeah.
So yeah, but all in all, I came out pretty good, I think. Yeah.
So you sell like the whole collection to one person, or did it like a lot of
Oh no no
people?
no, no. A lot of people.
Okay.
I had to use, or I didn't have to use, but I did offer down payments for certain things, but because quite a few of the collectibles were extremely expensive. So and a lot of people wanted it but didn't have the capital. So I
Mm.
did a few down payments of between 12 and 15,000 kroner range, or $2,000 range for a few items to probably 4 or 5 people, I think. And the rest pretty much sold in minor bulks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Final Fantasy obviously have a big fan base, and
Yeah.
specifically like on collector's editions and all that. Like Final Fantasy
Yeah.
haven't faded out of that fan
No,
base.
I
It's
don't.
not.
No, I don't think so. But the fan base has
Yeah.
changed quite a lot, I think, because a lot of the old school collectors kind of fell off with the new stuff because they're pumping out so much collector's editions and special editions and of whatever game they release, and even on expansions. So people are getting kind of tired of it. But then there's new fans of the more recent games that have gained a lot of popularity. So it probably picked up where others dropped off, I guess. Yeah.
So which game is it now that's gonna get remade that everybody's?
Final Fantasy VII
Yeah, it's the
is gonna
seven.
be remake for the PlayStation 4. So I
So,
think it's the second quarter 2020 for the first episode.
okay, so it's gonna I read that was gonna be like episodally, like kind of like split up. Like I don't know, remember how many
Yeah,
parts was it? Wasn't five,
I think it's gonna be 3 parts,
3? Okay.
like 3 discs, but it's gonna be split up to three. It's not complete games, but it's gonna be probably 3 episodes.
So this is probably gonna be at the end. Is gonna release like a full game with all of them in one as well, just to capitalize on.
Yeah. Most like it's Square Enix, so
Yeah.
they keep beating the cow while it's down.
It's just like oh, you want this game? Yeah, it's in all episodes. Oh yeah, you just want to buy a whole box with all of them collected as well. But we're releasing that with a special edition with like some
Yeah.
new,
Now with the new figure,
yeah, with new
now with the new
figurine in
color,
it. That's
now with the added content, and yeah,
and
you get my
yeah,
drift.
and like is slightly changed artwork on the cover. You
Yeah.
know, that reminds me on when on I saw yesterday or something that you remember Crash Bandicoot when it came out on the like the remaster or remake on PS4, right?
Yeah.
Now there's like a Crash Bandicoot 2.0,
Okay.
which is 2 more added levels.
Okay.
So you could download this really insane level that was taken out of the PS1 edition. That was
Oh.
really too hard to play, so they removed it from the game because it
Okay.
was really fucking difficult. But you could have downloaded it for free. I did that on PS4 for a little while. They had it for free.
Oh yeah. I think I read something about that,
Yeah,
but wasn't that kind of a slip up or something?
no, no, that
Or
wasn't.
no? No.
That was because I was taken out of the game, original game, because it was too difficult. So fans probably
Okay.
wouldn't gotten through it because it was too just too fucking hellish, I guess.
Yeah.
So they released it as a DLC thing that was free for a while, and there is also another map. So basically, it's just like, oh, buy this for, I think it's like 400 Norwegian, which is like $45 or something. And
Yeah.
then you get the same game with just that level on the disc, and then a brand new one.
Okay.
Which for me is like, why would you make a disc format of that? Why don't just why would just they were so
DLC.
they were so hesitant about like making the whole game in general, like the first game and all, like just to have all of them in one disc and all. Like the same with Spyro. There's just like, oh, we're just gonna make the first game in a disc and the rest is gonna be digital.
Yeah.
Why? Like, it doesn't make fucking sense. And now they're like,
No,
yeah, we're
that's like,
releasing we're releasing a 2.0 now. It's just two new levels. One is released already, but there is a brand new disc you're gonna buy. It's like nobody. I guess somebody will buy it, but
of course.
much as I love Crash, I'm not gonna pay $45 just to get one more level. Just release it
Nah.
as a DLC, like a little add-on or something on the
Yeah, that
PlayStation
would
Store.
make much more sense.
So that kind of confused me when I saw it. I was like, in like the Insanity Trilogy 2.0. I was like, the fuck is that like continuing the games then after the three? But no, it was just two new levels.
Yeah, I think a few of the Final Fantasy games still has content being released to this date of DLC content like new weapon skins, new garments, and yeah, a lot of stuff. You can see how they capitalize on on the older games as
Yeah,
well, even to this day. So
but
that's what.
that's kind of easier to do that though than using like Crash or something, because there's a limit in what you actually can change on the character or do with the
Yeah,
character. It's like, oh, you can
yeah,
change the color of the pants. That
yeah.
like they didn't do that though, but if they did, that would be fucking stupid.
Best best 4.99 spent ever.
Best DLC ever.
Yeah,
Now I have like purple pants, not blue anymore.
yeah, totally
Great.
new game, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, like it makes the game way better.
Yeah,
Have you tried
that's
the Have you tried the new Crash Racing, by the way?
no, I haven't gotten around to it.
I played it a little bit
Uh,
on. I don't play a lot other than recording videos. I've noticed it's like play for like 2 or 3 hours recording, and then I'm just like not playing anything. So I have literally just played 30 minutes of Crash, and I got it on basically release date. But I was
yeah,
moving as well, so I was just waiting. And now I'm just like,
yeah,
not a bad game. I'm just really bad at enjoying games without recording. And that's terrible.
yeah. I have been too busy really with real life
Yeah.
this past years, to be honest. So I
Yeah.
haven't really gamed a lot of games, but the few games I have been playing have pretty much been all home runs. Like after because when Square Enix said they would be making the Final Fantasy VII in episodes, that's what made me decide to just dump my whole collection and try to enjoy a few games
Uh-huh.
because I've been playing Final Fantasy games since I was 13 years old or 14. So after that, I went to Tomb Raider, I think. I think it was Tomb Raider, which was on the holiday deal or something on PlayStation. So I was like, yeah, I'll try it, and it was such a good game.
It's a good game.
So yeah, so I bought the second one, and also an awesome game. And then I was recommended the Uncharted 4,
Yeah.
and wow,
Yeah, yeah, I love the Uncharted franchise. I bought it
yeah,
from the PS3, the first when they released PS3.
yeah,
I bought like the Drake's Fortune and all. I have all of them.
yeah.
I've been a big fan of those. and play them all the way through. They're really, really good games. Those are the that what like the Tomb Raider game got the first in the 2013 one got really
Yeah,
that got really like I guess like looked down upon because everything was too much. Like they were like, oh, this is just like Uncharted with just a girl instead. So
yeah,
so there was too much similar things in it. So it
yeah.
was too close to Uncharted, I
Yeah, but
guess.
see, here's the thing. I didn't have any comparison because I
Yeah,
hadn't played any of them before. So the games I played before was Final Fantasy, Super Mario stuff, and Gran Turismo. That was basically all I played besides being heavily invested in MMO games.
yeah,
So I didn't have any comparison. I haven't played the older Uncharted games. I really gotta give them a try someday.
yeah. There's like you can get it pretty cheap now. The PS4 collection
Yeah,
with all of
I've seen
them.
I've seen them on sale a few times. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna give them a try sometime when
I
I get
I
time off.
didn't. Yeah, I never played the PS4 editions of the games. I played it on PS3, so it would be better anyway to play it on PS4. But if I'm trying to play the first one now, and
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck? This looks so bad. Like this is it's like how old is it
you
now?
should
Was it like
you should you should try Final Fantasy 9, my favorite. It doesn't look it doesn't look horrible. Like it's bad, but it's not. Uh, it won't make your eyes bleed or anything.
yeah, the Uncharted one doesn't
Like,
make my eyes bleed either, but it's just to see the graphic, just
yeah,
the kind of the that was the gen, like kind of a new generation of graphics and all, and that was one of the first games that was trying to prove that it was better. Like it's way
yeah,
better than PS2 anyway, but it's just it's I think like PS3 graphics in general, like just that generation with Xbox and PlayStation 3 and all that generation was kind of like a weird middle ground in for games. Like some of the games
yeah,
looked really amazing, but some of them
yeah,
looked so fucking total trash.
yeah.
I felt like that was like the PS2, like the PS2 was they had the style pretty down, and when
Yeah, it was pretty linear at least,
yeah
but there were some
yeah
really trash-looking
yeah
games.
yeah
Like the first game I got to my PlayStation 2 was Summoner. Have you heard of it?
yeah I just haven't played it. It's bad.
Yeah, like play style wise and story wise, I enjoyed it. I think I was spent through it like 2 times maybe, but like there wasn't a huge selection when I bought my PS2 because I bought it on launch. So I thought, yeah, this looks okay. I'll try it, but the graphic was so shit, man.
Oh yeah.
But game wise, it was pretty brilliant actually.
Then
So
think just when I think about it, like just how the PS3 was it the Xbox 360 then, right? With the PS3 era, that was
yeah, yeah,
yeah. I just remember like there are some decent game looking games in there, obviously. Like later
yeah,
on, like obviously one of my favorite games, The Last of Us, is in it,
yeah,
and it's real good. But I'm not. That's kind of like the late to like kind of like
yeah. That's real late. So
so
that's
if I'm
like
talking like the first years, they were all like just the kind of the just the graphic up, updating that they're trying to do between that to
yeah,
PS4. I feel like PS3 and Xbox 360 was kind of just like a necessary step. It's like it was like so bad to look at some of the games because they looked like somebody made them in their basement almost like really low budget,
yeah,
and they had like all the big really good voice actors like big names, but the games were so shit. Like
yeah.
the
Like a few months ago, I remember playing Gran Turismo 3. I
yeah
played that the shit out of that game.
Yeah,
I
same. That's a
played it
favorite Gran Turismo game. Gran Turismo
all
3.
day long.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
That
I
that's a
didn't.
good game.
Fuck all of my friends. I stayed inside and played all day long. So I was like, oh, I remember that game. Oh, it looks so good. And I
Yeah,
went back to
yeah.
it like 3 months ago. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, same.
It looks so bad.
And I think every time I play the game, I pick the worst car. I think there was
Yeah.
okay. There was like a really like back heavy Honda car. I don't know which car the fuck it was. There was like one specific Honda in there. It was like really fucking massive in the back.
Okay.
It was really back heavy. I took that and I took it orange every fucking time, like bronze orange. That was me and my brother's favorite car. We were like, yeah, take the Honda. And when I tried it again, I was like, fucking Christ, this car is just slipping fucking everywhere. This is terrible. What did
I
why
remember.
did I enjoy this?
I remember being so bored at the end of my GT3 career that I used to turn off all the traction control, put racing super soft tires on the front and stock tires on the back,
Wow.
and tuned the Toyota Supra to like 1100 brake horsepower or whatever, and just kept wheel spin from the line all the way through complex ring and across the line again. Like the tires spun the whole fucking track.
Jesus.
And I used to make drift videos, like screen capturing.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Are
that was a
the
lot of fun.
are those like
Like,
still online or are you kind of like private?
oh no, they're long gone.
Oh, it's not like you kept
But
them and be like, this is my proudest
nah,
moment.
no, not really. But I used to have like a competition with a buddy of mine of corner entries. So we got bored of rear wheel drive cars, and we went to 4-wheel drive. So naturally, we went for GTRs and stuff, and we did the same recipe: no traction control, super soft in the front, and stock in the back. And we had some of the movies we stored had like 280 kilometers per hour rear corner entry, like not from the front, but we came ass first into the corners at almost 300 kilometers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and just downshift and bop, 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 all the way.
Fuck's sake.
Well, that was a lot of fun. But then came GT4, and that's when I stopped playing Gran Turismo because they were absolutely ruined after
Yeah.
that.
What happened with the Gran Turismo? I mean,
I don't fucking know.
I mean, I feel like it was kind of the generations. I feel like it was more like a PS1, late PS2 kind of game. Or like
Yeah.
early PS2 game that was kind of like decent at that. And the same with like Tekken, I guess. I mean, people still play Tekken. But I feel like Tekken and Gran Turismo and all that was kind of like earlier generation of gens of like console gaming.
Yeah.
There's been like rounds of that, obviously, but yeah.
The problem with Gran Turismo 4 was they overdid the AI. Like, if you turned off traction control and stuff in stability control, if you even got the slightest amount of oversteer, there was no way to catch it again. There, 100% into the wall or whatever.
Yeah, I remember trying it.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I did never played it. I did never bought it myself. I think it was okay. So the dad of one of my exes loved Gran Turismo, so he bought all of them. He was just like enjoy the early ones. And I remember playing the one that came out. I was like, what is this? What?
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
What happened with the game?
Happened? What happened?
So what is your favorite favorite game in general? Do you have like one favorite or like say three then? Like is there like one that really sticks out?
Final Fantasy 9. That is my all-time favorite game. Yeah. Pretty sure.
I don't know.
I've gone through it probably. Let's see. Let me 1 second. 33, no, 34. 34 times. Yeah,
Jesus,
completed it 34 times.
that's a lot.
It's such a good game. If you have to try it. It's mandatory that you try it. The story, the settings, and yeah, it's the cutest game ever.
I thought I had an answer on my end, which was my favorite game.
Okay.
But then I realized, like, I don't know who the fuck is my favorite game anymore. Because I have like had answers through the years on like
Yeah.
every 5 years. Like, oh, this has been like over. There's a few games that is still stuck with, like, still stick with me in like game wise, but I think it's more just because I like the franchise. It's like one of the Lord of the Ring games. Did they play the Return of the King game on PS2?
Yeah.
I feel like
If
that.
you, yeah,
Uh,
if you would have asked me like 15 years ago, I probably would have a different answer. But
Yeah, same for me. Like, I
as
still
of
don't.
now, yeah,
For me, it's really difficult to like. Still, like, I guess Lord of the Rings is on top three. The Return of the King game. That game looked
yeah,
fucking better than the late PS3. Some of the late PS3 games that came out, just
yeah,
gameplay wise, it's like insane how that well that did it, or like how they kind of. It still kind of doesn't look bad now either.
no. The Final Fantasy 9 doesn't look great, but it's aged well. I think
Yeah.
compared to like Final Fantasy 7 and 8, it's a lot better, a lot better. But if you will ask me like, what's the best game I've ever played, then that might be a different answer, I think. But my favorite game is Final Fantasy 9 by a pretty big margin.
Yeah. It's because lately I've just been playing a lot of horror games, and I still
Oh, I fucking hate horror games.
love horror
Can't,
games.
I can't handle them at all. Like, nope.
I just
Pass.
I really like I meant to continue on playing Layers of Fear because that's one of my favorite horror games franchises. Have you tried any
Yeah,
of them or seen them?
I've seen them, but I haven't tried
Yeah,
them.
the second one, I saw the release. Like, they released a project and didn't say what it was on
Yeah,
another YouTube channel. That they had like a secret project name, and they just released like a teaser, and
yeah,
that was Layers of Fear 2 later on, and then it was all like just out on Steam, and I was like, oh fuck, it's out. Okay, well, I'm gonna buy it then. So I meant to go
yeah.
back to that. I'm recording 3 episodes of it, and it's really good.
Okay.
It's fucking scary compared to the other one, because what I hate in horror games is just when you're helpless and you just have really good sound design, and something is running after you while you have to run through a maze shit.
Hmm.
And this game has elements. Wait, I mean, I don't know how it's later on, but for now, it's like some sort of thing that runs after you, and you have to run through a labyrinth and kind of pull up doors, and like
Yeah,
really heavy doors, and they're going slow as fuck, and you just hear the heavy footsteps like on old wood, and it's kind of like fucking. I hate that. And that,
yeah,
like,
dude.
the
Me.
first game wasn't like that. The first game was just more like noises, shit happened, kind of bookshelves exploded
Yeah,
out and everything. There's still a lot of elements to it, but they added in like the scare factor of just like run something, it's gonna trying to catch you
yeah.
sometimes. And I hate that. I never like that with horror games, but I like the
No,
more get
me.
like kind of the game if the fucks with your head, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. If it's just kind of like
yeah, yeah,
making you, the game is basically like that, but there's some running sequences which is kind of like the same thing but different scenarios and whatnot, and I don't like that. I don't know if there's gonna be like less of it. Like, I've been playing for like 3 hours in the game. I hear it's like 12 hours long, so hopefully that changes. Hopefully.
yeah. Maybe the dynamics changes a little bit, but
Yeah, I
I have
wish.
a good story about the horror games and why I fucking hate them.
Okay.
That's Me and my best friend growing up in middle school or something. Yeah, um, we I was going over to him because I was gonna sleep over. It was the weekend, and his parents was going away, so we were like, yeah, home alone for the whole weekend, and it was a big house, a little bit up in like towards the forest, so there wasn't a lot of neighbors or anything, and he had gotten a game from a cousin or something that was a lot older, and yeah, you can guess which one it was. PlayStation 1. Big
Play-
horror.
Was it Resident
Resident
Evil?
Evil. Yep.
Okay.
And like it was uh, late fall, so it was pretty dark outside even at the evening. So
Yeah, it's like
we
4
sat
or
we
5
sat,
it gets dark, so.
yeah, we sat up to like midnight or whatever playing that game. Oh, Jesus Christ. I haven't played a horror game after that. Even though I have a guilty pleasure, though, I love watching other people play horror games, but I fucking hate playing them myself.
Yeah,
Like
I
Bloodborne, I've watched so many videos, like countless hours of people running, speed running them and whatnot, like distortion and yeah, like distortion. And I gave myself a shot, like, yeah, I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I didn't even make it. I didn't even get to the first boss, not even close. So that was one PS4 controller less after that whole mistake, and then I went to Dark Souls 3. Never played Dark Souls 1 or Souls any Soulsborne game before,
mm,
so I think I downed 6 or 7 bosses before it was 100% fuck this shit, and but that's a big accomplishment on my end if you can see it from my perspective, because I haven't killed a single boss in any Soulsborne game before. So that was a huge accomplishment on my end. So I'm feeling pretty proud ish. But let's see, it took me 27 hours to down those 7 bosses. But I didn't give up straight away, so that's an improvement, I guess.
that's something.
Yeah,
So
I'll take it.
I just know. Again, I love watching horror games or
Yeah,
movies. I mean, and I'm watching like some game. I watched like a few. Now I'm watching like there's. I think it's like Venage or when there's like a horror game that Jacksepticeye is playing now, which is I'm not gonna play it because I watched the first like hour of it, and when I do
yeah.
that, it's just like I don't want to play this now. Because it's like you know what's gonna happen the first hour of the start of the game of a horror game, and that is supposed to be like the learning curve, I would guess.
Yeah. But here's the stupid part. Like, I've watched Elijah's and Distortion,
Mm-hmm.
probably a solid 60, 70 hours of them playing, like
Mm-hmm.
Bloodborne, and I still can't make it to the first boss. And like, what the fuck? Why? Like, I see what they do, but
Why can't I
I,
do
ca-
that?
I yeah, I can't replicate. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I seriously don't know. I would have fixed it if I knew.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I really like for me. It's just lately it's been some sort of like really like games that look just environment looks really cool, and it could be like some sort of like not drama game, but it's some sort of like horror drama thing. There is called what is the other game that I'm recording been recording one episode of, but I waited for it for a long time. It was the what is oh my god, the plague, the innocence, the plague.
Oh yeah.
I bought that the day it came out, and I recorded one episode, and then just moving happened and all whatnot, and then and it's a really good looking game, and the story, just the environment, kind of takes me into it. That's why I like the Layers of Fear as well, because the environment and everything around it kind of. I guess that's why I like horror games, because horror games now it's more like they are focusing so much on kind of the environment around you as well, not just the jump scares.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's I
I
think
fucking hate
that's
jump scares.
yeah. So there's a few of them in there. Obviously, it just like happens a lot. That's Layers of Fear in a nutshell, basically. Just like,
Yeah.
but the first one's way worse at it, kind of repeatedly. But this, I thought it was gonna be like that, and I was like, oh, I'm chill with that. I can handle that. And there's starting
Yeah.
like a fucking there's like some glitchy dude in the hallway, and when you come close enough, it just starts running at you, and you have to like turn around and run as fucking all everything behind you changes because it's meant to be like fucking in their head. So like there's
Yeah.
this whole labyrinth with heavy shit doors you have to pull up and close it and lock it so it doesn't catch you multiple times,
Yeah.
and you have to sprint and jump into like down some
Oh,
areas.
oh.
It's so I it just doesn't. I don't like it, but I kind of keep going.
Yeah. Do you remember the last Tomb Raider game where you like follow down in the caves where the Inca people or whatever
Yeah,
lives, like the cannibals? Yeah.
yeah,
When you're crawling through that narrow
yeah,
little passage with the bones and the white walls, and you get to that kind of T section,
yeah,
and you're probably like 15 yards away or something from the T section, and then that little Incan white bastard
yeah,
like
yeah.
skips over. Holy shit, that scared me so bad. I was like, I almost threw the controller like in the wall, and my arm hair was like, yeah, sticking like a porcupine.
Yeah, it's
That
just
was
I don't know. I like the forest I played with alone at first, and then multiplayer came out on the forest, and then because I was in 3 years and was in beta, right, so something like that. So
yeah.
when the full game released, I played the whole game through with two of my friends, and it still got me like really bad. Like that was just I was like, because I don't expect a lot of shit to happen in it, but I mean, obviously do. But there's like the cannibals, and they go down to these caves with these mutated cannibal people, and they find like shit, and they go deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
Like it's just I like those games because when I play with people, it feels way better. But when I play like obviously games you can't play with anybody, like Layers of Fear and what all those kind of single player games, I get really immersed in just those type of like adventure kind of really pretty looking games. I'm just like, oh, I'm in there, but then I realize, oh fuck, it's a horror game, so I get just scared shitless.
Yeah, lately I've been more into like good dialogues in games, like Uncharted 4,
Yeah,
when there was the first cutscene with his brother, with Drake and his brother.
yeah,
Like, it was what, 10 minutes long
yeah. It
or
was
something?
really long. I know.
Yeah.
I was recording episodes. I made like a few episodes of the fourth one, and then I stopped making the episodes because I was like, half of these episodes are just like talking. Like, it's like
Yeah.
I can't keep making. I could have completed it, but I was like, man, how many episodes is this gonna be if I'm gonna like so
Yeah, that's the one downside of probably UC4, but like that's the weird part. I wasn't bored at all with those cutscenes.
no, they're
That's
really good.
so weird. Yeah, and like Far Cry 5
Mm-hmm.
with Joseph, all of those cutscenes. Wow, those are so good. He's probably my favorite villain type of guy in a decade, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, just like some few games that kind of, if they have good dialogue with the good gameplay and they kind of balances out each other in a good way, they work together. And
Yeah,
like obviously Naughty Dog is really good with that, with Uncharted and The Last of Us and whatnot. And
yeah.
okay, did they make? No, they didn't make the Order 1886, right? Or did they?
Oh, good question.
Didn't I feel like they did, because it was like a big game that was like no a Naughty Dog game, and when it
Yeah,
got out, everybody was disappointed because it was like 7 or 8 hours gameplay. But I
yeah,
really
yeah,
liked that was kind of the same thing. The dialogue and atmosphere and the gameplay, everything floated really well into each other. Like there was like 5 minutes of really like good conversation, good cinematics, and the game
yeah.
kept going, and you couldn't see the difference from the cutscene to the game because the graphic didn't change.
Oh,
That's the
smart.
thing with the game, because they kept I think that's why it was so short as well, because
Yeah,
they had to
probably.
like improv like they had to make the graphics so fucking good looking through the whole game, so it was really intense to make a really long game and took a lot of resources, because the cutscenes are literally the same as playing the game. You didn't see, like, there wasn't like any loading screens, there was nothing like that. There was just like cutscene cut out and like it panned out to the character and it just kept going after the cutscene.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Like that's what I think is gonna kill my interest for the older games, because in Final Fantasy 9 there's a lot of dialogue, but it's all written. Like
Mhm.
you don't get a sense of you just sit there with your own voice reenacting all the scenes and
A lot of
stuff.
games was
So
that like that before. Like they had
yeah,
less,
yeah,
they had
yeah,
less things happening in it, but you have to make kind of a world in your head what was happening rather than getting it explained like a movie or a TV series, I guess.
yeah. That's what I mean. But that's why I think I'm getting really spoiled with, like, yeah, Uncharted, Far
Yeah.
Cry, and all of that stuff, because the dialogues are pretty fantastic, really.
Well, luckily there's it doesn't come out as a real, those game doesn't pop out really often, so I
No,
mean there is
and that's what.
there's a long break between like really like when I I I know for a fact that when Last of Us 2 comes out, right, everybody's gonna be like,
Yeah,
this is fucking amazing because it's the Last of
this is
Us,
the
and it's like,
greatest game
yeah,
ever.
best. Also, I mean the game could be really amazing for all I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm really a fan of it. I bought the collector PS3 edition, not with the figurine, because that was like, I think it was like $170. I was like, nah,
that's
I'm good. I was like,
not too bad.
yeah, but for me to be like, oh, what game is this? I haven't played the game before. That was just like me seeing the trailer and some gameplay on YouTube. And you know how game
Yeah,
developers are just like, look at our game. It's amazing.
yeah.
And when they play it, it's just like, the fuck is this? Why did it downgrade? There's so many games that does that. Like, um, was it
Okay,
not?
like The Last of Us, that's my. I haven't finished it. I really want to finish it, but I haven't like gotten around to it. And a buddy of mine has borrowed it for 2 years or something.
Borrowed it.
Okay, yeah, 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 totally forgotten about it. But I played like halfway through it, I think, and I was just gonna take a little break because of, yeah, family stuff, whatever,
Yeah.
and I didn't come around to like picking it up again. But when The Last of Us 2 comes out, I'm probably gonna start with number one and then hop on to number
Because yeah,
two.
because if you buy the PS4 edition, you get the DLC as well, which was really good, by the way. That was
Okay.
like when Ellie was younger, and you see kind of her
Oh
find.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah,
talking about Riley, which is kind of
yeah,
her lost friend, and they're kind of like those younger and how they you know, just in
Yeah,
general how
I
they got
remember.
along and how they were friends and what happened before, like years before the last was. It's a really good DLC. I really enjoyed it from like start to the
Yeah,
end. It's really good. It's always like I bought the DLC on PS3 and then I bought the PS4 and I was included in that one. Obviously, they would do that.
yeah,
So
yeah. I'm gonna jump on it sometime, probably this fall. Maybe I get a little
yeah, they
more
haven't.
downtime at home.
Yeah, they haven't set any dates yet either for it. It's been talked for a long time, and they've shown a few trailers and some gameplay, and it looks really good for
Yeah.
what it is. So I think the
Well,
game kind of doesn't. I don't think the game will disappoint in the gameplay department. I mean, like they don't overwork their gameplay to look really amazing, and when the game is out, it's just like garbage.
yeah. Like the one thing I'm actually kind of curious about is the remake of Final Fantasy VII. Is how the dialogue is gonna be, because yeah, I've read it all. I've played through Final Fantasy VII quite a few times,
Yeah.
and I've seen the movies like the Advent Children. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen it, but I know it exists. I've seen it
Yeah,
around.
I still have it. I have a copy of both of them. But the dialogue in the movie is pretty good. If you like compare it to the game, the old game, where you had to put a voice on every character, it kind of fits what I was thinking. So I'm kind of excited for.
I feel like that's
I'm not terribly excited about the game, but I'm kind of excited about some
it's.
parts of it.
I feel like games that didn't have talking, just didn't have monologues, just had like text
Yeah,
and all that. I feel like you pretty. I think you pretty much split the fan base when the game is out anyway, regardless of what you're doing right or wrong. Really, it's just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. There's always gonna be someone
it's gonna
that's
be like, why?
complaining,
Who the
anyways.
it's like, what is this shitty voice? What is this shitty voiceover, voice acting shit? What is this? This sounds like garbage. And some of them are just like, okay, this is kind of what I expected, but like, I mean,
Yeah,
not exactly, but close enough. And somebody's just like, get this garbage out. This is I waited 4 years or 3 years for this shit.
yeah,
It's always gonna be like that with
yeah.
just
But
like really big games that trying to kind of get redone.
yeah, that was probably my favorite part of like Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, like the exploring part of the games. Like you could level and go do side quests and discover rare items and whatnot. And Final Fantasy X was probably not probably it was the last good game that in the Final Fantasy genre for my part.
Okay,
There's a lot of new fan. Mhm.
no, which number are they now? Like,
Final Fantasy 15 was released, but there's spin-offs, like
yeah,
spin-off games.
yeah, that
There's if you just collect them numerical, you could skip 14 because that's an MMO, but there's so much spin-off games. Like you have the pocket editions, you have the
that's what I've
Nintendo
seen. That's I'm really
editions, yeah.
confused. I'm just like,
Yeah, you have the
what is new? What is
PSP, the
old?
PS Vita. There's a lot, but the newest Final Fantasy on PS4, that's XV or 15.
Yeah, that's because that
So
came out like uh,
2 years
2 years. Yeah, or something
ago,
like that. I remember
thing.
that.
No, no, wait.
Was it?
Yeah, maybe it was. Wait, hold on.
Wasn't
I can
it?
check it out right now because I have a copy
I just
on my
remember. I just remember.
2016 actually.
Oh, 3 years.
It was yeah, I think it was late 2016.
Yeah. So
So
about 2.5 or so.
yeah, it's 2.5 ish.
Because I remember just seeing the kind of meme thing about it when you started the game. You have to push the car at the beginning and whatnot. Like,
Yeah, that's
that,
so gay.
yeah, that was like, oh, you have to push the car, and I was like, and I okay,
Like
but
the game and the the play style and all that. It's not completely garbage, but the whole boy band camping
Yeah,
trip
yeah, that's
type
what I
of
mean.
stuff, that
I never, I kind of, for me, I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. So when I saw that, I was like, is this what the fans really enjoy about the game? Because I haven't
no.
been in the, I
Well,
haven't been.
not old fans, but yes, some of the old fans, but in the big majority, no. This probably appeals to newer fans that liked Final Fantasy 13, the older parts, because here's the kicker: there's three separate Final Fantasy 13 games, and all of them are different games, pretty much, but they're all 13 part 1, 13 part 2, and 13 part 3, or Lightning Returns,
Is that
if you want to call
is,
it that. But
is that a Japanese thing that they did release in Japan, or also is
I don't
English?
know. This all rolls back to like Square Enix and Square Soft. Like
Yeah,
the
that's what
last,
that was thinking. I was going to ask that because there were the
yeah,
different
because
ones.
like that's what I'm saying about Final Fantasy X being the last good game. That was still when Squaresoft was a part of the team,
Mm.
like they helped out making Final Fantasy X. So then Final Fantasy X/2 or 11, or it's not 11, but like part 2,
Hmm.
where Yuna Pain like goes on this girl trip or what. That's like the little brother to 15 in my eyes, because that's
Yeah,
an
so.
all girl game versus an all boy game. So that's but it was horrible. I know some people that enjoy it, but calling it a Final Fantasy, nah, it's pretty dicey if you ask me.
Yeah.
So like that's when I really fell off the whole genre, so to speak. I put a lot of time in Final Fantasy X because it's a pretty good game. You can finish it in like a normal player mode, just roll right through it and beat the boss, and yay. But you can finish like a second part of the game with something called Dark Ions, and that's like 50 times harder than the last boss of the main story. So the Americans didn't get that game when it was first released. They didn't get that part until the PlayStation 3 version was revised.
I feel like it's that a lot with Japanese games, or like these mainly Japanese are just like, oh, these editions, like these
Yeah,
kind of the taking stuff away and years later on, like so a few kind of generations up, they're just like, oh, we're gonna release now. This is a other edition, and it's gonna be like, yeah, gonna make the
yeah,
fucking.
but Europe got that revision at launch, so it was Japan and Europe, but not the US. So
Wow.
when people started recording this game and putting out videos like tutorials and whatnot, like the Americans like, what the fuck is this? Where I haven't seen this in my game. Like,
Oh.
no,
Oh.
not a big surprise because it's not in your games. So I was able to beat all the Dark Ions plus Penance before several years before the game made it to the US. So that was pretty fun. And I think my first playthrough was 572 hours, I
Jesus.
think. Yeah, but I did everything to the absolute max, all the stats. I cleared the expert grid and replaced all the nodes. I had +4 nodes, so my characters, they were basically unbeatable, and that was really time consuming.
So okay, because it's going to try to wrap up now. I have just
Yeah.
what is like if you could, I guess, is there any games that you really kind of wished I didn't? I mean, obviously, probably Final Fantasy, some of the Final Fantasy games you could say with that, like they didn't try to push like the title on it, like really big titles or like really overhyping games. Is there like, what's the most overhyped game you kind of
The most
that you were really
overhyped.
excited about, that you really want to try and or like heard about, and when it launched it did like really like dog shit bad?
That's a good question, actually. Like Final Fantasy X2 or 11 or whatever you want to call it. I don't feel like that was hyped in that sort of way. So no, not that one. But I think the Final Fantasy 13 was super overhyped. At least the first one. The second series of the 13, that wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Okay.
So they kind of learned, they
So
learned from the kind of the first
yeah,
one.
yeah, they
The
did learn, but then they unlearned it in good old Enix style and made 13 Part 3, which was absolute shit. But I feel like the most overhyped, at least in the Final Fantasy genre, would probably be 13, Part 1.
yeah,
Yeah, at least that's for me, but there's always gonna be haters.
yeah, it's always, you can't obviously with them that many games and that big of a fan base, it's gonna be probably gonna be split
Yeah.
anyway. But
So,
I, on my end, I don't know what game that I was never, I don't know, I can't, I really can't remember a game that I was really freaking excited about. I was, I mean, I was kind of a little bit excited about, I guess, Watch Dogs, just a little bit, because it was different, because they showed off all these pretty graphics and all the things you can control and switch over, and just the environment and how the rain looked in, it just reflected really pretty and whatnot. And when the game was out, I was just like, they was just like, oh, we couldn't handle all this on the console and whatnot, so we're just gonna downgrade it like fucking hell. Like it just looked like a basic PS4 game. So I don't
okay.
know. I don't know which game other than that I really can remember, because I'm really picky about games. I'm just like looking forward to one game that I'm just like, yes, this game, and I'm still waiting. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. There's one game that I'm fucking still waiting on. I have the pre-order for it. I had it for 5 years now.
Okay.
It's Dead Island 2. Do you remember when that was
Oh
announced?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still in development now, which they have been through 3 developer team, but now the original Deep Silver and all the original cast or like the crew from the Dead Island series said, okay, let's, you know what, if you guys can't finish this, let's just do it ourselves anyway. So they've taken upon it and made it, and they're just like updating just few like developing logs, I guess, on the website, but they're not making big announcements, because they said we're just gonna make this low key, not gonna hype anything more up.
Okay.
Because there's been like, they
Sure.
showed off like gameplay of it, right, on like they always show like, they're showing like 10 minutes of gameplay of the game, and then they realized, oh, we have to, that was like 98% done, and they was like, oh yeah, we can't work with it, we have to scrap this again. So Deep Silver and like all of those, like they have to scrap everything that was made, like took like 4 years to made, and build it up again with kind
Yeah.
of the same engine thing, but they have to rebuild the whole game because they couldn't figure out how the other developer team actually, what they were trying to do with the game.
Just give up. That's like
No,
Give up.
Dead Island to me, okay? I love Dead Island. I don't know why. I have Dead Island on PS3, PS4 on and on the laptop or the computer. I really like the game. Okay, it's a good game. And then Dying Light, yeah, Dying Light 2 is coming out now, which I was like,
Someday.
yeah, I wish like Dying Light 2 is obviously they released like a date and a new trailer for the main character in Dying Light 2, which was good for was really good, cool, and to see to actually. But that at least that has a release date or like a month. But
okay.
But I mean, like Dead Island 2 is just like I really want that to happen because they were gonna like make basically like California in real life, and they paid like $2 million to use the official Hollywood sign in the background.
Oh.
In the background, they're not gonna be able to explore. They had to pay $2 million fucking dollars to use the rendered edition of it as a backdrop.
Money well spent. Oh yeah.
So that's why I'm hoping this game is out, because there's so much potential, and it's just like it's not like
if anyone's wondering, that's why you pay like $60 for a game. That's why. That's the sole reason. God damn it.
Yeah, it's just like because they want to make they're going through the streets and photographing all the cities perfect, or like the buildings perfectly. So we are able to go through the city and see the buildings exactly how they are just after zombies take over, I guess. So kind of like a more realistic GTA, kind of, just because GTA didn't replicate it, that like they copied it for like half of it, and they kind of made up some of the buildings. But this is supposed to be like a perfect copy of it. So they paid like a shit bunch to like have the Hollywood sign to be like perfectly placed in the background, and and I really want to I have a t-shirt, I have merch. 4 years ago, I bought Dead Island 2 merch 4 years ago. I have a fucking Dead Island 2 t-shirt. The game haven't had any release dates. It's just been
That's investment.
It's just been one goddamn E3 trailer and then one gameplay trailer like 2 years later, and that's like 3 years ago now.
Really? Great.
I really want a game. God damn it. Make it happen.
Maybe next year. You'll be fine.
I mean, I've waited almost 6 years now, so I'm fine. I can wait another year.
Yeah, another 6 year, another year. Who cares?
The first year, like they're waiting for a year for a delay. The game has been delayed like 3 or 4 times. Been through 3 developer teams. And now it's back in the hands of the original ones who didn't have time to do it because they made the Dying Light 1. And now they made Dying Light 2, and they're still working on the Dead Island 2.
Oh,
but
no.
Okay, just give me Dying Light 2 probably will be good because the 1 was really good. I played the shit out of it. It's just a better upgraded version because you can climb everything, you can jump, you can parkour, you can make just more fun out of it, the whole game. Just give me a good Dying Light 2, and I can wait another 5 years on Dead Island.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's not. I can. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a overhyped game that I'm not disappointed at it because it hasn't been released yet, but. But it's kind of the thing, though.
When the day comes when it's released.
Huh. Then, yeah, that's the thing.
What if you're seriously disappointed then?
It's like, oh, I waited 8 years for this. Fuck. Cool.
Yeah,
took me 8 years to be disappointed
for
this.
Great memories, good times.
But the other ones are pretty. I mean, the other ones are good. The obviously just Dead Island, the Reptile one with Reptile, which is number 2 in a way, but there's just 1.0, I guess. I don't fucking know how they. This makes sense. Yeah. Is it the Dead Island 2 is the 3rd game, so
yeah.
So that's kind of what I've the overhyping of the game that I've been not disappointed at yet, at least. But I've yet to be kind of either really surprised or disappointed about it.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be great. Just give me another 10 years.
Good luck, buddy.
Just give me another 10 years and I will review the game. I probably will play it when it's out. If it's
Yeah.
hopefully it's out. They've promised to make the game out now. They're like the official developers now. So if they don't, I'm still gonna wear the T-shirt though. To be like, look at
Yeah.
this. This wasn't released.
Look at my non-relevant T-shirt.
Haven't you played this game? Me neither. I've seen 10 minutes of gameplay. It's really good.
It's gonna be the shit, bruh.
It's gotta be the shit. Never got released though, but it's real fucking good. So yeah. That's my future maybe disappointment overhyped game. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know yet. I just have to wait for it to release. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm patient.
Obviously.
Yeah. Wasn't Final Fantasy like that as well? Like the episode 7 wasn't that like delayed with different?
No, not really, because they didn't like set any deadlines. They've been kind of vague about everything, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
that was people were
they,
like scared of
yeah,
that. It wasn't.
people were speculating about when the release was, but they didn't take into account like there's a lot of stuff they need to rework. Like Midgar, the starting place
Yeah.
on Final Fantasy 7, the amount of data just to make that place alone, that's insane. So it probably will be really good looking game. Like the Final Fantasy hasn't disappointed in how the games look by far, but how they're gonna rewrite all the scenes and make all the places and structures up to date, that's got to be a huge project. So I didn't expect it before 2020 anyway. So
Yeah,
I wasn't.
I guess they were hoping for to get released. I mean,
Yeah, they were probably hoping they were working on it in secret and was a long ways
yeah, we're
away.
like
But
99% done with it. Almost like,
yeah,
oh, it's
yeah.
out in like a half a year now. Like, you can pre-order it. It's just like, no, we
No.
just started. Don't chill out,
Yeah,
please.
they probably hadn't started. They wanted to see how it was received first.
Yeah,
Like I that's what I genuinely believe, that
yeah,
they outed it on E3 and just looked for the reactions.
yeah. They were
So
like, they said like, oh, they were making the game, but they were just like making just to test out the waters, I guess, to see if
yeah,
if that's something that they should actually waste or spend their time on, depending on the result.
yeah, because if you think about it, the trailers that have popped up has only popped up recently,
Yeah,
and you've just seen like the first, I wouldn't call it a boss, but the first mini boss
yeah.
in a trailer. So I seriously doubt they had any huge plans on how they were gonna make it when they announced they were gonna make it.
Yeah, I think that was
But
really early in the process of actually trying to figure
yeah,
out how to do it.
I think it was in the idea
Yeah,
process, like let's make a trailer, boys, and yeah, let's see how this shit flies, pretty much. So by looking at the character development they've done and the scenes we've seen in the trailers, I probably guess they're halfway on episode 1, probably.
yeah. At least that game is. I mean, they are open about it, and it's probably gonna get released compared to like because they
Yeah.
made it. Obviously, they made a trailer for the cinematics of the Dead Island one, and it
Yeah.
looked really good and everything. And they showed off like 10 minutes of gameplay, and that was basically just like that was. I think that was like a year or 2 years later as well after the E3 trailer, which was
Yeah.
really late after it. And after that, they just haven't heard anything. All I've seen is like articles, just like
Yeah.
it's delayed. It's the developer team are just leaving the project. They're just like, oh fucking Christ, just no, just make the game. God damn it! Make
That
I don't
will
get
be
just you can just copy the other ones. It's fine, just with a new engine. Just do that, and I will be fucking happy. Please,
just copy paste.
copy paste the game. Just make it in California. Just you don't have to over because if you look at a gameplay, it looks really good. Like what they showed,
Yeah,
like way more realistic. And they had like if you put out fire on the grass and areas, the kind of the flame went with the grass like it normally would in real life.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
kind of had a lot of like real physics in it, and like other than just like a hack and slash game, which the other one was, the two first ones.
yeah,
Obviously, it is that, but they tried to make it like you could split people in two and you can see everything inside them, and they're like tried to make like more realistic in all ways,
yeah.
which is, I mean, I
I
think they're
can't
just
wait for Grand Theft Auto 6. That's gonna be amazing balls.
yeah, they do apparently supposed to be in Y City.
Yeah,
Just what I've heard. I mean, obviously they made Y City and Y City Stories games before
yeah,
anyway. And Liberty
yeah,
City, isn't it? So Liberty City, wasn't
yeah.
it like a
Liberty City
PSP game?
is no, Liberty City is. Hey, isn't that number 4? No. Yeah.
No,
No.
no. Oh, hold on. Is it? I don't know.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I always count those games like the has like the Y like the kind of the Liberty City. I feel like that's kind of its own little spin-off little series. Always when I think about it, it's not, but just for me, it's always been.
Yeah. Because let's see, Vice City. Nope. Yeah, the episodes from Liberty City. That's
Because I feel like it was sort of like a little spin-off thing they did with the PSP and all that.
yeah, yeah. It is actually.
Yeah, so they're gonna have that, and then Vice City kind of some like they did with GTA 5. You had the San Andreas, some of the map and the neighborhood in it. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be the same kind of deal, just more, maybe a little bit more about Liberty City.
Vice City was the greatest, at least for me. Everyone keeps like saying
San Andreas.
San Andreas was the best, but nah, in my book it's Vice City actually. That was an awesome game.
Yeah, just I played mostly the San Andreas one because I had that, but the Vice City I played a lot
Yeah,
as well because my friend had it. So I played it less than San Andreas, but because I had that myself, because everyone was talking about that game when it was new. So
yeah,
so I mean I like they're really good in their own way, both of those games. The one that I don't like is GTA 4.
yeah. Same.
That's
I
so
didn't
that
even
game is.
didn't even halfway finish it. Not
Yeah,
even close.
and like I said, that's a PS like that was a PS3 game, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like all these limitations that PS3 and
Yeah.
just the whole console, that's kind of the era, I guess, of
Yeah.
PS3 and all that. That was kind of like they were testing out of waters for the next generation to like expand on it. That's what I
Yeah.
think just about PS3 and Xbox 360. It was just like testing out the waters and how they could make the next one really amazing without not
Yeah.
trying
Or
to.
it was a race to make just a
Yeah, that wasn't
new gen
that
console.
wasn't finished, was it? Like they said later on,
Nah.
they wasn't happy with PS3, and it wasn't finished. There was like they
No.
didn't have like tested everything. They were kind of like, yeah, this we have to get a console out. This is better. Like this is, I guess, good enough.
Yeah.
So I feel like that
Ship
was
it
just
out. It's good enough.
yeah. It's just like I feel like just the PS3 era was shit that it was. Like there were many good games that I really enjoy. Like I really like instrument games, like Guitar Hero and all that kind of the rock band games and whatnot. I really enjoy those. I still do.
Yeah.
So I bought yeah we talked about. I mean I told you privately that I was looking at the adapter that you could buy to play digital drum set on the,
Yeah.
and I bought that. That was fucking expensive. That was like I'm not joking. With like everything, it's probably gonna get
Yeah.
more. Probably gonna be like around like I will say $100 if I
Oh.
get like extra shit on it. For now, it's like 75. But I know for a fact if it's gonna be like, oh, you have to pay extra for to taking it in here because Norway is stupid and they can't buy for more than $40. And then it's gonna be like, oh, we have to pay 25% of this extra for just taking it in there. It's just fuck off.
Yeah, until next year. Then it's
Oh yeah,
everything you buy. Oh, you bought this $2 keychain. Yeah, that's gonna be another $90. Yeah, cool.
yeah. I have a list with like 50 small things that I need for the recording and everything in the studio and all that. Like
Yeah,
all like this little screw. Like I've just used to buy like, oh, this little adapter thing from
yeah.
and now I have like this list of like 80 to 90 things that I need to buy before the end of the
Before
year.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, before just gonna be like I have to have all of the because I can't buy one thing for like $1 and then be like, oh, you have to pay $5 for that actually extra. If you don't know, it's like fuck off.
Yeah. But I kind of think it might be a good idea if you like think about the employment and stuff, because if these like small trinkets and shit get a lot more expensive,
Uh-huh.
it probably would open up for it to be made domestically and compete, like price wise compete with a lot of the small stuff you buy on eBay. So
Not true.
kind of a good idea, but either way it's going to get more expensive for us no matter what. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I just bought adapter. It's just a MIDI adapter to a USB that is like, oh, this MIDI drum set now or keyboard. Oh,
Yeah.
now it's a USB driven Bluetooth thing. It's like
It's
it,
cool.
it's like yeah, it's like okay, well, I broke my bad. Okay, if anybody says that Guitar Hero drum sets are good, just fuck the right off. They're just terrible. They broke so bad. They're just a shitty plastic. It's just like the whole drum set was like that was just wiggling back and forth when you had the rhythm on it. I was like, oh, I can't have a rhythm on a drum set. That's great, thank you.
Fucking casuals.
Yeah, you have a rhythm. Fuck you. Then I'm just gonna go back and forth and break off all the cymbal stands. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bad idea. Just I think they were hoping that really small kids would play it that doesn't have a lot of strength.
Okay,
Because
like a heads up, when and if there's a party at your place, I'm probably gonna get somewhat drunk and try out your drum set. That's
oh, that's gonna be
very
that's gonna
very likely to
that's
happen.
gonna be recorded for sure. You know what I could,
Absolutely.
and what
I
I'm gonna
don't
do
listen.
then is I'm gonna record the playing that you're doing on the computer. I'm gonna connect it to
Yeah,
the computer
but
and you're gonna
yeah,
listen to it afterwards. It's gonna be great.
yeah. Like you could use it as theme songs for one of your
I,
movies, or
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, sure, buddy.
just pay me some royalties and we're cool, okay?
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be a no from me, Chief. I don't know about I mean, you could. What if you're a
I
really
don't.
amazing drummer when you're drunk?
Yeah, who knows? Like
Yeah, that
I
could
I
could be a thing.
discover talents every decade or so.
Jesus. Yeah,
Not really, but
so
let's
I'm
yeah,
trying to
just
figure out how to
play along.
get. I'm just trying to figure out how to get just the normal Bluetooth transmitter shit to Guitar Hero so I can use two guitars because now I've broken one and they're really expensive.
Hey, that's a fun story. Like a Guitar Hero on PlayStation 2. Yeah, on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Like I used to play, or a buddy of mine had it, but he lived like a good ways away. So every time we visited him, he was like, "Yeah, let's play some Guitar Hero, okay? Yeah." And obviously he
Was your
had a
friend Miss?
lot more.
Was your friend Mr. Mackey from South Park?
I'm not gonna tell him, okay?
Okay, I'm not gonna tell him.
But he was pretty sweet, okay? So
Yeah,
like,
go
so
on.
like he had a lot more practice than I did. So me and my brother, we bought a PlayStation 2 plus new guitars and the whole shebang, and we we went into like serious practice for 3 weeks, like
Jesus.
every day after work for hours and
Oh my
hours
god.
just to practice it. So next time we like visit him, it's like, hey, you wanna play some guitar heroes? Okay.
Okay, let's play guitar. Okay.
Okay. And like he put it on medium mode, whatever, like not the easy mode, but the next
Yeah,
step up.
the medium one is that one. There's
Yeah,
hard and
yeah.
there's
So
expert.
he's like, yeah, banged out a tune and was pretty happy. Like scored some 85% or something, and like, yeah, your turn. And I'm like, okay, okay. And I selected hard and just ripped it right through. He was like, hey, wait a minute.
What is
There's
this?
something fishy going on.
You traitor.
So and like I stuck with it for a good while. Just like when going to some parties and stuff, we usually set up the PlayStation and had some uh, call it competitions. And the funny part was the more I drank, like the more drunk I got, the better I played. So I was playing expert with like 99% hitting all the marks when shit faced. Totally shit faced, and that was better than when we were when we started out in the evening when I was sober. So
Jesus.
that's a weird turn of events. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and that was expert. So don't
As
ask me how or why, but apparently I'm awesome at Guitar Hero when I'm shit faced.
I still have SingStar microphones because
Oh no,
yeah, SingStar
no,
2 microphones
no.
because okay,
Yeah,
okay,
fuck that shit.
come on,
No,
okay,
I'm not
listen.
coming over. Fuck you.
Listen, listen to me now.
Okay.
I do have. I'm not gonna force you to sing SingStar, but you can use the microphones on Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Oh, cool.
So
I'm
you
still not coming over.
come on, dude, come on. So
Nope.
so what I've done, I've completed all the games 100% on vocal, guitar and bass and drums before it broke. And yes, I was like, yes, I'm gonna have every song on expert, and I'm gonna do those as well. And I
I'm
like
gonna, you're gonna be 2 microphones short when I come visit. Whoops.
I have 4 microphones actually. So.
Oh, well, then you're gonna be 5 microphones. I'm gonna give a shit.
No, I'm
You're
gonna.
gonna not have microphones.
Okay, maybe somebody else wants to sing. You don't know.
Not while I'm around. I'm so horrible, dude. Oh, I like parties, like drunk people. Yeah, I'm a superstar. Woo! And put on some shitty song, and they sound like they're raping a cat or whatever. Oh
Yeah. So
God.
that's a genre like that's a really like I like the franchise of Guitar Hero Rock Band before, and
Yeah, yeah.
the
It's
last one was shit. The Guitar Hero Live one was just terrible. But let's not talk about that. That's just like their last desperate attempt of trying to
desperate
milk.
attempt.
Really like, oh no, you like we're relevant, right? Right, guys?
Yeah, you were still relevant
You're
after
still
like
relevant after
PlayStation
like
2. Yeah,
not playing,
yeah,
not making games for like 8 years, right? Right, guys?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Everyone
then the
remembers
game
us.
is like, but we switch up the guitar so it's more accurate to playing guitar. It's just like, well, I don't want it to be more accurate. I don't want it to. I wanted the goddamn buttons. If I wanted to be accurate, I would have bought fucking
Yeah. Yeah,
Rocksmith.
but you know why they make them more accurate, because those sweaty nerds that haven't seen a female all their lives like play expert with the guitar behind their head while blindfolded
Yeah,
and
I
missing
hate.
more fingers
Yeah,
and whatever.
I have one friend who's just like he's taking every song on all the games in general, just an expert. He just sits
Yeah,
there, just calm, just playing it, just everything. I'm just like, oh, okay, dude, that is not like I'm not bad at
you,
game. Usually, I play
if you
all of
if
them
you
or.
Yeah, if you were his real friend, you would just tell him like, "You do know women exist, right?
So like I can play.
They're a real thing."
At least I can play like 90% of all of the songs or 95% of the songs on all the game in total on expert. I can do that. That's no problem.
Yeah,
But people who it's just like, have you seen the guys on YouTube who plays like,
yeah, they look depressed while
yeah,
they
yeah,
play
that's what I mean.
100%.
He's like that. He's like that when he plays it. He just sits there
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
dead
this game is
inside.
so great.
Yeah, like when I play it, I usually just like have a little rhythm in my foot and just getting a little bit into it if I'm really like enjoying the song. But like, so
Yeah,
when you get too sweaty on it, you're just dead panned into the TV, and you just look like you hate your life, really.
yeah, you're sitting there with your greasy hair and your unwashed AC/DC shirt and
Oh
looking all
Jesus
depressed and
Christ!
shit. Yeah, yeah, my life's awesome.
So
Nope.
I'm not at that stage. I'm at the stage of enjoying it and kind of playing the songs and the games that I like on it. I'm not trying to be
Yeah,
like I'm gonna do expert on Dragon Force through Fire and Flames.
yeah, fuck that shit. That
Yeah,
that that bastard is impossible on
yeah,
hard.
I know. I hate it.
It's impossible on normal, to be honest.
I've taken it on hard once, and that was barely on once. I was really I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play this song ever fucking again.
Yeah, I didn't figure out like you could just tap the buttons without hitting the strings. I'd never figured that one out, so I didn't know that was a thing until I saw it on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I can
So,
do that.
but yeah, but I did a few hards and a few experts regardless. So I think I did pretty okay.
What we should do then is I'm gonna try to get another, because my friend who's really sweaty on this that I just talked about. He have like 4 extra receivers to the PS3, and
Okay.
and he told me that I could get 2 of them or 3 of them, and they normally go for like 40-45 bucks now. With people who
Wow.
they're really expensive because they're not making, nobody has made their like kind of a replica or anything after it, so it's basically just the ones that people who has the guitar still, and and it like,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to fix it because I don't know where the issue is in the receiver.
Okay.
So he said that I could get like 2 or 3 of them, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to get a hold of him, and we're gonna, my plan is I'm gonna have that, and you're gonna come over, and we're just gonna sweat it out.
That sounded way too gay, but okay.
On the guitars, on the game,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh,
on
yeah,
the
yeah. Okay,
game,
cool. Cool
not on
story,
each
man.
other, not on each
Yeah.
other. No,
What?
not
Who?
on, no.
So yeah, I gotta go.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having no. Thanks for yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
The awkward ending.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna end
Yeah,
it
we were
there.
gonna wrap. Yeah, we were gonna wrap it up 22 minutes ago.
Yeah,
So
no,
that
we're
seems like a good
yeah,
idea.
yeah. Makes sense because we have more stuff we're actually gonna record.
Yeah, sweet.
Sweet. So yeah, thank you guys
Thank.
for watching this goddamn podcast. I'm trying to. I'm again. It's just me not trying to reach out to other people or YouTubers and whatnot on that is interested in games to actually make this, because in like a, possibly like a week or 2 weeks after this is up, there's gonna be another one with a person actually, because you don't upload a lot to YouTube, do you? Or do you
Me?
want?
No.
Yeah, but yeah,
Nope.
yeah,
Not yet, at least. So
yeah.
maybe down the line.
So I'm trying to, obviously, I want that people who's a little bit interested in games and have a little bit of, I guess, not need to know a lot. They just need to have a lot of interest of talking about it. It's just like it's really be like, yeah, welcome to this gaming channel. Do you want to talk about games? No, you like Call of Duty? Okay, cool. So I'm trying to.
Sweet.
So I'm trying to. I'm gonna try to reach out to people that I may find interesting or cool or anything now, and try to ask them to come on. Which, trying to do that more frequently. maybe. So
Maybe.
think maybe. I don't know. Don't trust me on anything.
Yeah, you're a liar.
I still have 8 episodes, or no, 6 episodes of Hat in Time that I have to. I have a lot. I don't want to talk about how many videos I have a lot of videos that I need to edit. I'm getting sad just thinking about it. It's too many. It's a lot. So
Yeah.
just if you want to see more, subscribe and like this video so I know that it's actually something you want to listen to more. And gonna try to be more frequent with it.
Good luck.
Gonna try to be a good boy. So everybody needs to say goodbye to Fuck Puppet. Got him.
Fuck you, man. Bye, everybody.
Bye.